and it's daytime, and I can be visible. So I think today is the 100th day of my challenge, and yeah, I think I'm kind of looking forward to it ending, but maybe I'll by the end feel like, or soon after, feel like I miss it, but we'll see. So today I wanted to talk about something that have been on my mind of only of the last couple of days, very intensely. Well, yeah, actually, yeah, in that format. And so I watch a lot of YouTube tarot videos, and I do it not so that I follow someone's advice. I'll do it so that I can hear my reactions and listen to my own reactions to what I'm hearing. And so my kind of criteria is if it leaves me, and often, well, not often, but sometimes when I feel like just nothing, like, nah, this is not me, this is not for me, I then just stop, obviously. Then other times I just love what I'm hearing, so it's like reinforcing what I already know, but maybe I'm struggling still to kind of bring forth. And then there is other stuff that actually triggers me and makes me go angry or upset, or and one such thing was, so it was almost like, it was one of those pick a card thing, and I love those the most, because they're so neutral and yet effective, I find, and just very personal, but neutral in the sense it doesn't matter what star sign I am or anything like that. So, sorry, let me take a sip of my lovely coffee. It's decaf and a bit of chicory. It's I'm loving it. And so I picked whatever first one, but often they say like you can pick another one because if you feel drawn to it. And I can't remember what and I ended up picking 3. Why? Oh, because the question was my favorite question. What's beneath fear? That was the theme, but what's the fear beneath your fear? The fear that you think you have. This is like my absolute favorite thing in the world to be looking at, and so I picked 3 that at all kind of resonated with me. But like I said, the first and then second, and there was this third one. I thought, well, it did catch my eye a little bit, so let's see. And that's the one that triggered me. And I never watch them more than once, unless I want to remember something, and that's within the same watching. I just rewind or something and maybe jot it down, but rarely. But this was like I watched it 3 times because just so that I can listen to myself reacting to it. And anyway, so the message that triggered me was that this desire for aloneness and solitude is false. And my God, it's like that's all I am about, and always have been. Well, for the adolescence onwards, like late teens, after my first Saturn conjunct my moon, and a couple of years ago I had it again. So yeah, it's definitely the theme of Saturn. My moon is in Capricorn anyway, so it's like I am solitary and I love solitude. There's no two ways about it, but there was still something there, that the fact that I got so upset, that was worth looking into. And basically, so what she was saying is along the lines of why you're not succeeding as fast or as much as you'd like to, so financially amongst other things. And then one of my dreams, and it really is kind of a dream, wishful thinking, and I kind of ways I found of doing that never really aligned enough or never felt good enough that I pursued them long enough or stayed with them for long enough. So I'm currently like, my business is not doing great in the sense I'm not having many clients, so I'm quite broke at the moment. But I mean, I have my partner, but also so so it's not like I'm, it's bad, but it's not great. I have no income as such. And so she was saying one of the reasons that's kind of my situation, and it has been throughout my life, is that I want to do it all alone, and I want to do it all myself without anyone's help. Not to mention that just a day or two before there was this amazing reading, and she was like saying exactly the same, the opposite to that. That I'm actually meant to experience, you know, I kind of came into this body or life or whatever, exactly to experience what it's like to be alone. Not lonely, but to just be this kind of separate individual, separate from the rest type of thing. Not as in unique or, you know, anything special, just separate, right? Anyway, and I love it. I love all that. So anyways, in that video she was saying, and I was like beaming, but here she triggered me. So I kept thinking about it, and I have no answers, but I just like, so, because I went, so I'm like, what have I missed? What have I missed? What, you know, what's my blind spot still? And I suppose, so what I was going to say is, like, I tried, it's been a theme of my life, so I have wrestled with this all my life, absolutely all my life, always wanting to arrive at a conclusion that's true, not based in fear, not a hiding place, but true. Now, on the way to finding that truth, I took abode in many hiding places. So, you know, that's just part of the journey, and that's how it is or was. And anyway, so I'm like, I've tried everything, and it just doesn't work. It doesn't very quickly just becomes just this illness, if you like, or this black hole of life sapping energy, or life energy sapping, anyway. So anyway, but the closest I kind of got to the piece that I maybe am hiding and sort of just am living in denial, right, is the piece about what's the word, like being projected on, triggering others, confrontation, engagement that's confrontational. So what she was saying, and this is something I've been hearing throughout my life in various forms, from friends, from lovers, from teachers, from passers-by, from astrologers, from therapists. Not always, but occasionally I'd hear it, and it would be one of those things that I would just want to shut up immediately, and that's your sign that something is there for you to actually hear, but you just can't bear it. And it was that you were meant to, you know, trigger people, and people are meant to be jealous of you so that they can then do their stuff, their work. Or people are meant to be spiteful of you or mean to you, not in a horrible way, like, and I never really experienced like someone's like, you know, someone going out of their way to make my life difficult or misery, never. So I was lucky like that, but I could never have a proper close relationship where I didn't feel, you know, that either straight away or, you know, soon enough there was jealousy, there was meanness, there was, anyway, friendship, but also not so much lovers. No, lovers never really that. No, lovers never. But friendships, colleagues, and all that. Anyway, so my point is, so it's been in my life, and it's essentially why I want to be alone, because I don't want to be doing that work. I don't want to be, and that's the denial, meaning I turn this into my vision, mission statement, that I want to be alone and don't want to engage with others, don't want engagement, because more often than not is challenging in the sense that it requires me, and but you see, I've done it. I even done that, and I think I may have even spoken on here about it. I must have. I don't know. I would imagine. Let me just. I remember vividly. So that was 2016, maybe. Yeah, maybe 2016, 2015, 2016, maybe 2015. So about 4 or 5 years ago, let's say. I was still on Facebook at the time, and a few last years of that. But anyway, and there was this post by someone, I can't remember who, it doesn't matter, but about childless women. No, it was no, it wasn't childless women. It was either breastfeeding in public or kissing on the lips, and this is the piece that I jumped in on the conversation. Whatever started the conversation, it was around that kind of, and those couple of those topics I just mentioned, either breastfeeding in public or kissing on the lips. And I started a conversation there, joined the thread, and was basically saying how I find it inappropriate and kissing on the lips, and yeah, and basically how I feel it would be sexualizing the child, or just not even sexualizing the child, but just like doing something to their sexuality that wouldn't be healthy for them. I do not remember what exactly I was saying, but it was, I know that I'm not sure if I feel the same anymore. Anyway, I'm not gonna go there now, I can't be asked, but at the time, and I remember that was a conversation that took place over a few days, if not a week. People were then responding to me, and then I was responding to them. And I'll never forget how painful, but not how hard work it was for me to choose carefully my words, to stay true to myself, and to be respectful of other people's viewpoints, and so just so the conversation doesn't stop. So I have, I say everything I want to say, and also hear people what they have to say. So in one sense, it's a sterling or stellar example of how to have contentious debate online. It really is, and in that sense, I'm really proud of myself. Now, it's something I've done many times before that point, before that particular example. I mean, many times since I've been online, it's actually what I've been doing. And I suppose in a way that proves this point that I'm meant to be engaging, because I remember it energizing me, but at the same time, I really didn't enjoy, there was something about it. It's like I was doing it so that other people can hear. It's like I was holding space for something beyond me, someone else, some others, not myself, right? And although, like I say, I done it so well, and I have that in my chart as well, but it's a human design chart that really nails it. And it is actually my prosperity type of signature in my chart, to be diplomatic, to deal with these extremely contentious, high-flying, high intense energies of disruption and discomfort and emotionality or whatever, and to diplomatically, meaning cool-headedly, meaning with a healthy dose of detachment and clarity and just calmness, basically. So it is my talent, and I know I've done it well, and it's actually what then brings me prosperity. And I can imagine, I mean, at the end of that conversation, and many times in the past, I had business opportunities come away, business offers, people following me, if that's a form of success, having more friends, in air quotes, on Facebook. So the payback in that sense was good, and I was good at it, but I ended up feeling I just want to create things for myself. I don't want to worry about how other people are feeling. And that's the piece, because I kept considering everyone and myself. And it's like, it was tiring. It was like how can I, like wading through treacle. That's how it was actually. And if you done ever that, no, I haven't, but somehow I know the feeling. I can't think of what is a good example of that it's not wading literally through treacle, because I haven't done that. Maybe it's like when you try to walk on the snow, anyway, or with skis. It's that kind of, it's really hard. Maybe walking on skis, actually, if you ever I've done it through Finland, ski walking, not all of Finland, but just one day, or just, what's that called when you're on skis? Just walking, basically. Oh my God, it's just like, oh my God, if it wasn't for the absolutely stunning, mind-blowing scenery, I mean, just heaven, Finland, Lapland, and No Living Soul, February, out of season, everything caked in snow. Oh my god, heaven, 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 heaven. And yeah, me walking, like I say, and my partner obviously, and yeah, just really tiring, and just like, oh, just such drag. So that's the thing. So me writing this piece on Facebook and being part of this thread was a feat, and it was a major quality accomplishment. Really was. It was one of my finer examples, because the topic was really contentious, and I certainly felt I was really pushing buttons. But I didn't want to push buttons. I just wanted to, and that's always my thing. I don't care about pushing anyone's buttons, partly because I don't want to deal with that thing, but also I don't enjoy it. I don't, and then because I have to do all this work, or not, which is what I've been kind of doing of late, like last couple of years. So you see what I mean? So I actually recognize, so that's the piece that I actually recognize in this tarot reading, that is false desire for aloneness is false, because actually I'm more aligned with engagement, but the engagement is meant to be contentious and confrontational, or just contentious basically, and therefore like a minefield. And I'm well equipped to walk that minefield, and very, very well can walk it. And I could probably teach classes on this, in fact. In fact, I know I can. And part of what my job is as a, what's the word, my other life before I kind of decided not to have that life, was a project manager, and I was working with different teams, and usually like IT, and then business side of the business, the IT department, and the rest of the big operations. And it's just always been a matter of that kind of minefield, in communications. And so like a mediator, I was almost like a mediator. And this is what I was as well, but just for myself and the others. And when this was in between two people, and I was literally the bridge. Anyway, in fact, I had a business at a time for a while. That was my kind of front end of this project management, that I was freelancing kind of thing, where I was the communication, the bridge between the two departments. That's how I was marketing myself. So my point is, yes, and it was probably the time I was getting the most money, prosperity, if that's money, is prosperity. And that's the thing, even then, money and that kind of prosperity was always, it was great, don't get me wrong, and we had a fabulous life at the time. We went on holidays, we just lived really, like, we just spent that money like there was no tomorrow, really, and loved it. And but yeah, again, so it's like I've done it all, and it's like, I really, well, I don't know, just speaking this today, and Venus is conjunct my natal Pluto, which is always transformational when it comes to relationships and values, influence and aspects. So maybe I'm transforming something today, but it does feel like, it's like, but no, you just never know with me. Today I might feel like that, and then tomorrow I might not. But yeah, it feels now, as I'm speaking, that this is not so bad, that I could actually go back to being that way, and it's not. But so suppose it's not even just about prosperity, which would be a side effect of that, but it's about being aligned with my path and walking it. And I'm still, as I'm saying this, I'm just thinking maybe there is a way of me doing it and me speaking, and which is kind of what I've been trying to do here and also on my other channel. But partly I think the other channel is a good example of why this maybe isn't working, and that is because it's like I'm not aligned, I suppose, because what's the word, like rejecting, but not, well, more or less literally as well, but uninviting engagement. And yeah, and there is something definitely about my energies in that space that is akin to being stuck, and so therefore that's a sign that you're not in alignment, you're not flowing. So yeah, like I said, but the last point I was going to make is, like, as I was sort of saying, that I might be actually ready to go back to being that way. I was at the same time thinking, oh, maybe there is a way I can do that and like do my side of it, but not engage, not have those. Yeah, as I'm imagining the situation, like just reimagining that situation on Facebook with the example I gave. I don't know, it just doesn't really appeal. It's like, yeah, it goes back to that. I don't want the world on my shoulder, and I don't mean in the sense that it's a responsibility, even though it is a responsible job, if you like, when you are engaging. I couldn't do it any other way. Maybe I could actually. No, I could do it. I would still think it's responsible, but I would just declare that that's not for me to worry about. I would probably just, if I was doing that now, like having been part of the conversation, maybe I would just have left my very first one, and other people, when they came back and were in a disagreement with me, although they were never horrible in that particular example, but some were stronger than others and certainly triggered me and made me upset, kind of like, even though then I didn't show that, because like I say, that's my problem, me being upset. It's not someone else's, so I don't dump back on them. But so I, like I say, engaged differently, and but now I would have maybe just left it. That's it. I probably would have just left it. And then what would have that meant? What would be the consequence energetically for me? I would have been left with that. I would work on it myself. I don't know. There is something about the energy being redirected, but maybe in the wrong direction. I don't know. But yeah, the idea of just, the responsibility of the kind of not wanting the world on my shoulders. It's not like I'm responsible for everyone, but it's literally like, I suppose I haven't said this clearly. As I did this, it generated quite a lot of more comments. Like, I was doing it for a week, and I mean, I don't know how many comments, but maybe 20 or so, I don't know, which is not a lot, maybe, but for me, who hardly has anything now, I suppose even then, I mean, I was never big on generating those comments in general, like I said, but when I did, yeah, my point is, it kind of generates activity and invites more, and that's what I mean, but I don't want to carry that. Energetically, I don't want to carry it. That's my point. Even though it was carrying me too, because it was a platform for me to keep doing this, to keep writing, rewriting, or rather coming back and then writing more, and not rewriting, but writing more. And but it does feel like I literally was a diplomat, like I was on a diplomatic mission. Well, like I said something and then I realized, shit, and now I'm in, and I have to keep the peace here. And that's that prosperity, human design, Pluto 6th gate, Jupiter 6th gate thing that I mentioned, that I'm designed this way, that it is actually, if I do this, I get prosperity. But yeah, it's like a lot to handle. For what? That's always the thing. For what? For money, for prosperity, but then the energy is the only thing that actually is what could motivate me. So anyway, so I might be actually reconsidering and doing this more, and this is gonna take forever to upload, but I don't care. See you tomorrow.